Hello everybody and welcome to the United Stand. How are we all doing this afternoon for this big game? Manchester United against Norwich. And I think I've got the team more or less right, haven't we? McTominay, Pereira, James, Rashford, Martial. One player wrong. So we've got the right team. Wan-Bissaka, Lindelof, Maguire and Young. De Gea. He's got rid of the 4-4-2, which I think in hindsight is probably the right thing to do. I would agree with that. I don't really have a problem with that. I'm actually quite glad that he's gone with that team. I think Williams probably was pushing for a starting place, but it was always a smokescreen. Yeah, I've just got to change the one player. No start for Jesse. I mean, to be honest with you, in the context of what he's got with no Paul Pogba, I've got to be honest and say I don't think you can be critical of the team that he's picked there. I really don't. And I know people want to be critical, but I don't think that you can be critical, if I'm absolutely honest. I think that's about as good as it's going to get with Pereira in place of Lingard on the screen of what we've got. Look, Brandon Williams probably should start, but as we know with these things, that's just not going to happen. He's not going to go for youth in a game like this. So he's gone with what we expected him to go with, and that is Ashley Young. Wan-Bissaka plays, Lindelof and Maguire. We know Twan Sebi's had his problems. De Gea comes back into the team as expected as well. Fred and McTominay, the midfield too, which makes a lot of sense because we don't want to see anyone like Matic in there. And obviously we know that Pogba's out injured. So Pereira playing in the central position I think is a positive. I think he deserves that chance over a Jesse Lingard or a Juan Mata. So you know what? It's a shame. In some ways it's a shame how bad Manchester United have been doing of late, because I think that we've sort of caused ourselves those problems, haven't we? So we've caused ourselves those problems with the team selections that we had as well. I would agree with that, but we've also got the problems that we've got with the players that we've been picking. So let me just change the team for you as well, because it's not Lingard playing in at the central position. He's on the bench, I presume. It's Andreas Pereira, so one change there, easily done. Norwich, okay. So how are you all feeling anyway? I suppose that's the most pertinent question to ask early doors. How are you all feeling? I'm feeling good. I think Manchester United will win today. I've got a feeling that we are going to get the result that we need to get, and I think that Norwich are there to be beaten. I think, as we can see, that it will be Martial down the middle. James will go to the right, which I think is a little bit of a shame. I think it is a bit of a shame that James goes to the right to accommodate Rashford on the left. But I think this is Manchester United's best team with Pogba when coming back into it. I think it's our best back four. It's definitely our best goalkeeper. So, look, there's no excuses today. I don't think there is an excuse today. Luke Davies says he's bored of Ollie. It's the best we have, says Cully. And I agree with that. I think it is the best that we've got today. And I think that the way that we've lined up... no Luke Shaw. With regards to the bench, it's Romero, Mata, Lingard, Rojo. So Lingard and Mata are on there. Rojo's there, Greenwood's there, Garner's there, Williams. So no Shaw, no Matic. Greenwood does make the bench, as I say, as does Jesse Lingard and Juan Mata as attacking options. What channel is it on, Mark? Says Kane Harris. It's not on in the UK. It's Liverpool versus Spurs. So earpiece for radio, and we'll keep you updated with what's going to be going on. Would you play Williams over Young? I think I probably would have done today, if I'm absolutely honest. I think I probably would have done. I think that Ashley Young, whilst he's done a good job for United, I think that I would have played Williams. And this is where I do sort of take a little bit of an issue with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because I think he talks about the youth a lot and then doesn't actually go ahead and pick it. So, we've got Ashley Young coming back into the team as captain. I wouldn't have played Garner. I thought that was a step too far. But I think that I would have played Williams at left back. He was man of the match on Thursday. He was the reason we scored a goal. He did absolutely everything right. So why would you not play him against Norwich just to bring Ashley Young back into their team? If you're interested in Norwich's side, obviously they've got Pukki up front, midfield of Cantwell, McLean, Letner and Bunder, Tetty holding the midfield, Amadou, Godfrey, Lewis, Aarons as their back four with Tim Krul in goal. And look, we've got to create chances today. We haven't been creating enough chances. I would agree with that. We've got a lot on our plate today to go and do, but most important of all, we've got to win the game. We've got to win the game. I mean, 2 CDMs against Norwich, says Davian Frances. Well, we always play 2 CDMs, don't we? What radio station is the game being broadcast, says Specs? I would imagine it's Radio Manchester, probably Radio Norwich, MUTV always have radio commentary as well, so there's loads of places. It's not a 4-2-3-1. Is it not a 4-2-3-1 and not a 4-3-3, says Jay Breezy Gaming. I really absolutely have to be honest with you and say I couldn't give 2 shits, Jay. I really couldn't. I just don't really care, because the reality is I call it a 4-3-3. You could call it a 4-1-2, 1-2-3. I don't really care. The reality is it's going to be roughly like we've set it out there. I would hope that Rashford and James don't have to do too much defensive work, to be honest with you. The earth is flat, says Gold Peace Prosperity. Probably the best lineup we could muster. Do you think Ollie is channeling Sir Alex Ferguson from the pre-live game in terms of formation? Pre-Liverpool game. I think it is the best team we could pick. I haven't got a problem with that team. I would have picked Williams over Young. I've said that before, but I don't necessarily have a problem with that team. I think that ultimately it is about as good as it's going to get. I'm very pleased that he's not picking Jesse Lingard, which he could have done. Dipanshu Kumar says the selection's been done right. Just play the way you say, Ollie. And I think that's the most interesting thing. I'm not an Ollie apologist. I think he's put himself into this situation himself, and he's got to work his way out of it. If you're looking for encouraging things, I think he's picked the right team today. I thought he might start Lingard. He hasn't started Lingard. I think that shows that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not stupid. He realises that Lingard is not good enough. He realises that Matt is not good enough. And as I said on the show last night at 8 o'clock, this United side has got to win today. This is the most pressure game of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's short time in charge of Manchester United. This is not about I'll rotate. This is not about resting Mata and Lingard. This is about, if I lose today, I could lose my job. Now, he probably won't lose his job, but I think he'll lose a lot of fans if he loses today. And he's already lost quite a few anyway. So he's got to win today. The pressure is on. Last I checked, Newcastle were winning, so we're already going to drop down again. We could be 16th tonight if we lose. So we've got to win the game today. And going into that game, he has decided that Andreas Pereira is going to start over Jesse Lingard and Juan Mata. And I see that as a positive. The big thing we move forward with now is if you're relatively happy with that lineup, or you're just saying, well, that's the best team you can pick, or if you like the team lineup like I do, the next stage and the most important stage is going to be, can this team win this game playing good football? Like, picking a team's one thing, but going out now and producing, there are no excuses. That's the best team he can pick without Paul Pogba. That is the best team he can pick. So there is no excuse. He's got nobody else to come back other than Paul Pogba. It's Norwich who shift goals like anybody's business. So we got to go and win the game. Simple as that. And that's going to be the pressure cooker test, because if that team goes and loses to Norwich, you've got to change the manager, because we've only got Paul Pogba to come back. You've got to go and win these sort of games. How is it on TV in Australia but not in the UK, says Paul DeLuca. We've spoken about this before. It's stupidity. We've got 3 4:30 kickoffs today. We've got Wolverhampton, Newcastle at 2 o'clock on the telly, but then you've got Arsenal, Palace, United, Norwich and Liverpool, Spurs all kicking off at 4:30. One of the decent games should have moved to 2 o'clock, but this is the ridiculous nature of the UK TV scene. And obviously Liverpool Spurs is the game they want to show, even though Spurs are definitely going to use that. Jordan Such, United or no United, you must have been tempted to do a Liverpool versus Spurs watch along. Any other, if United play, I watch United. That's how it works. But I definitely would have been doing that as a watch along. Yeah, definitely would have been doing that as a watch along. But I'm not going to not watch United. Hey Mark, hope you're well. Another positive, there isn't many lately, but at least he seems to have gone away from the 3 at the back formation, says Mabias Drummer. Yes. I hope you're well, mate, as well. And I think you're spot on with that. I think you're absolutely spot on with that. Big thing that we're not actually playing the 3 at the back, which I sort of feared. And I think, again, look, if you're scratching around for positives, then that is a positive that the manager has gone and picked. He's moved away from the three at the back, which I think I was a bit worried that he was going to become a little bit obsessed with that three at the back, and he's moved away from that. So I would take that as a positive as well. Oh, I predicted boring 0-0 as always, says IQ Insane 2. We cannot draw this game today. We might, but we can't really draw today. We've got to win today. We can't afford to draw more games of football. I mean, as I said yesterday, a draw in many ways would be what I used to call it under Van Hal. I used to call it a dross, where it's not a loss, but it's not really anything positive. Actually, Wolves are drawing now with Newcastle, so we won't be dropping down from 15th because Newcastle can only go up to 9 points now. So unless Newcastle get a late winner, and as I understand it, I think they're down to 10 men anyway. No, they're not. But yeah, it's there's a bit of positive news for you. It's getting better and better, people. It's getting better and better. Newcastle are down to 10 men apparently. BBC just updates a little bit slow there. If United were in the top 4, the game would be shown, says Dara Azizi. No, it wouldn't. They would go for Liverpool Spurs over United Norwich every day of the week. I'm afraid they would. Norwich, Bournemouth and Brighton, we need to take 9 points as Oasis. And I think that is bang on. Absolutely bang on. Norwich today, Bournemouth away, Brighton. If you were Liverpool or you were Man City or you were Arsenal or you were Chelsea, you'd look at these 3 games and go, anything less than 9 points is a slip up. As Manchester United, it's very difficult for us to say we're going to get 9 points from Norwich, Bournemouth and Brighton, because we just don't do that sort of thing. But that's what he's got to do. And to be honest with you, I think if he did manage to get 9 points from the next 3 league games, everyone would be like, Ollie's at the wheel again, even though we've only beaten Norwich, Bournemouth and Brighton. It would be impressive if he can do that. I think he's got to go and do that. But it's not just him, the players have got to go and do it as well. That front 3 now, if it plays well, is a good front 3. Rashford, Martial and James, it's a good front 3. That midfield, look, we always know we're going to be the mint with a hole. We're the Polo FC. We've not got a great midfield, and Norwich will fancy their chances there. But the back 5 is strong. So realistically, we've got a good front 3. We've got a really strong back 5. The midfield is obviously the issue. But we've got, as I say, I don't want to bore myself. I don't want to bore you for sure. We've got to go and win today. Happy Diwali, Mark. A lot of India behind United. All of India is behind United, says Keegan Pillari. Happy Diwali to everybody who is celebrating that this weekend. I nearly said the Stadium of Light. That's Sunderland or Benfica. Actually, it's Benfica. Sunderland's is the Asda version. But we have a situation, of course, where Manchester United... where it's the Festival of Light, Diwali, sorry. Mark, do you think we will beat Palace, says Zayn Miassi. He's in the house, he's an Arsenal fan, you should be watching them. I think that Manchester United have got a great chance of... I think Arsenal will beat Palace, by the way. But let's just have a quick look at the league table, if it will let me do it. That's not what I want to do. I want to go here. So there's the league table as it stands at the moment. We're not on page 1, unfortunately. I can't show you that. And we're obviously not taking into account Arsenal and Spurs and Liverpool. They've all only played 9 games, and that league table will change, of course. But no United on that page. But interestingly enough, I show you this page because I want to try and be positive. I'm just seeing Ryan Giggs score a goal against Norwich there. I met him on Friday night. So... we are not 16th because Newcastle are not winning at the moment. We are still 15th. So if United were to win today, a bit of positivity, we would go up to 7th because we'd have a better goal difference than Sheffield United. We'd go up to 7th with 13 points and we'd be probably 7 points off 4th, and Arsenal will win as well. So we'd probably be about 5 points off 5th as well. But 7th would look a lot better, wouldn't it? Where we are and where we could go is two different things. Where we are at the moment is we're in 15th place with 10 points. Page 2. Never used to have to do page 2. So we are 15th at the moment. with 10 points. If we were to lose tonight, then we would stay in the same position. We would stay in 15th place because Norwich would move level with us, Everton are level with us, but they've got worse goal difference. Both of those are not going to change that goal difference. So we'd stay in 15th place even if we lose. But I think at the end of the day, we'd be 10 points off top four. He would have to go. So, but that's not what's going to happen, is it, people? That's not what's going to happen. We're going to win today. Would you take Rangnick as sporting director and Nagelsmann as manager? Says MUFC for life. I mean, to be honest with you, when we talking about directors of football, etc., I was nearly going to say what Ryan Giggs said on the video, but we'll keep that back. But I think a director of football is massively important to Manchester United, but I don't think that anything's going to happen with that. I think United think what they're doing is great, but there you go. And as TXN says, we could be 7th, or we could be 15th, but it's a big jump. And I think that is why today is such a massive game for Manchester United. We need to take that jump because it's not going to be for long where you're 15th and you can win a game and go to 7th. Like, I think if we lost today, we beat Bournemouth next week, we'll only be jumping 3 or 4 places. This is an opportunity for United today. We don't like where we are, but win and we can be into the top half of the table, into 7th. And I think this is going to be our only opportunity to do it off one game. So we've got to take advantage of that today. Newcastle and Wolves, 2 part of the bus teams playing each other, says Zanos. And it's early days, says A. Ahmed. I don't agree. It's 10 games in. And it's it's over a quarter of the way through the season, so it's not early days. We've got to start turning this around. And I think anybody who says it's early days, you remind me of Woodward and Solskjaer in this constant talk of future, which I find really annoying because the present takes care of the present, the future never comes. We've got to start taking care of the future. This is a relegation team, Norwich. They're in the relegation zone. They're shipping goals all over the place. We've got to go and win this game today. That's the reality. And also, anybody else who talks about patience, Chelsea aren't talking about patience. Leicester aren't talking about patience. They're just getting on with the job from the point of view whereby they have got a big season ahead of them, and they're just going to crack on with it. So I disagree with that. I think it's time to get on with it, and I think that's what Manchester United need to do. And I'm going to go with a win. I am going to go with a win today. 100%. We're going to win 1-0, says good to stream. Let me just double check here. Somebody said that I was a little bit blurry on the stream. It's probably your stream, mate, because it's absolutely fine at my end. Score prediction. I fancy United to win by a couple of goals, so I'm going to go United to win. I think it'll either be 2-0, 3-1, 4-2, something like that. Oh, Nick P. The hours we've lost the hour as well, haven't we? I've never known a season of humiliation quite like this one. Does Pukki have a YTS brother no one's heard of? If so, expect him to dominate our midfield. Yeah, there's no Pukki brother. Not like Newcastle anyway. Look, we can't have another Newcastle. Another Newcastle. But what I would say is, I'm going to be absolutely honest with you now. I said it on the show last night, and I know some of you may not have got round to watching the show because it was a Saturday night and all that jazz. Quite literally for some of you. But I'm not Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out because I don't want Woodward to sack another manager and then bring another bad manager in. It's just a continuous circle. But that doesn't mean Ole Gunnar Solskjaer shouldn't be sacked at some point. I'm going to say this now. If United lose today, I think really he's got to go. I think any normal club would get rid of him if he lost today. So I don't think we are going to lose. I think we will get a result today. But what I would say is, if he goes and turns this around at Manchester United, which I really hope he does, if he turns this around, we will always remember now, this point right now, I think this is the fixture that really defines the future of Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Because if you lose today, it can't do anything. Can't do anything with it. Two relegation team fighting out. You'd love to see. Norwich are deadly at home. Ask City. Norwich can play football. United can't, says Yasser HS. Clearly, you didn't keep your eye on the Villa game then, did you? Where they lost 5-1 at home. Can't read the text on players' shirt. I don't know why. Why are we blurry then? It is blurry, says Josh Cummings. But again, where is the creativity coming from? Let me see if I can sort out a few things here because it shouldn't be doing that. It will probably be to do with... And Jordan Such, yeah, where is the creativity coming from? Just close that down. I've got a few things open, that might be why. There we go. Okay, I'm not listening to anybody say blurry again, because a lot of people haven't got blurry issues, and we get this same thing with the audio. We can't hear you, Mark. We can't hear you, Mark. Because it's sad little virgins trying to get me to think that is the problem. So it's fine. That's Seb crying because Lingard's not playing. He's a big fan of Jesse Lingard. Right, it is for... Oh God, I'm not going to talk about the formation. I don't give a damn about the formation. I've said this before. There seems to be... It's a bit like this modern phenomenon of supporting a player over a team, like Pogba FC, Hazard FC, Neymar FC. We've also got this same obsession with formations FC. Like, if you've ever played the game of football, you would be very relaxed about formations. But if you've never played football in your life, apart from watching your ass grow while you're playing FIFA 20, then formations seem to be something that gets in your head and really causes you a lot of stress. Formations are adaptable. If you've ever played a game of football, formations are adaptable. For 5 minutes, you might play 2 holding midfielders, or you might have a lot of the ball and you might go to one holding midfielder. The reality is it's a 4-3-3. It's a 4-3-3. 4-2-3-1s, 4-1-2-1-2. You know, 4-3-3, we're living with it. Pereira's going to be the more advanced midfielder. Fred and McTominay will be the more defensive ones, with James, Rashford and Martial as the attackers. But what I would say is, the midfield that we played against Partizan Belgrade, that rhymes, is Garner sat and McTominay was more advanced. So you might well see McTominay or Fred sit with McTominay and Pereira more advanced. You don't know until the game kicks off. Is there any way of watching the match today? Says it's Lloyd126. I'm sure there's plenty of ways, and I'm sure somebody will help you out as to how you can do that. Again, we are playing with 2 CDMs and no attacking, says George Ramos. We don't know that for we don't know that for definite, to be honest, do we? Norwich are like United. They only turn up against the big teams, says Wild Killer Champs. And Man United... I'll tell you who is blurry. Ollie is blurry, isn't he? You're right. Right, okay. I think a few people are having problems today with some of the streaming. It may well be a bit laggy. As I said, unfortunate for you and unfortunate for us. I can't do anything about it, but I'm sure it will settle itself out because it's just as normal. There's nothing being done that's out of the ordinary. Mark Cahill is doing a great job at Palace. He was better to get for you than Maguire, as you could have used Maguire money for midfield and attack. Zane, as if we're going to take Gary Cahill at Manchester United. I mean, come on. There's nothing wrong with Harry Maguire. Nothing wrong with Harry Maguire. He's a good player. It was a lot of money, but yeah, it was a good player. If you're having problems with it, refresh your screen. You can also adapt the video quality on YouTube yourself. So, other than that, I don't really know what else I can tell you. It is what it is, I suppose. Where can we watch it? Says RB. Difficult to hear you. It's too blurry. All right, I'm not answering any more questions about that anyway. Anybody got any sensible questions? Meeting Ryan Giggs was great. Slyness, yep, enjoyed it. We're lucky to have Maguire. The man is class, says Dante's Peak. Pucky's going to score a hat trick. He's not. Tom Chelsea says, how are you doing today, Mark? I'm relaxed. I think that we can do it. And Peter Eddy says, Mark, if we win the game, most fans will end up forgetting how terrible Ollie really is, and he will end up dragging us to mid-table team. Would you want Vasquez for the right, says Perka HD? No, I wouldn't. Isn't he the one who's at Real Madrid? I think he's just the Real Madrid Jesse Lingard. Maguire is overrated, to be honest, says Alex Productions. Why is this turning into a pick on Maguire Day? I don't know. Do you think Norwich Man City was a fluke? says Paradox Clips. Well, I think I watched that second half of that game, and I thought Norwich were very impressive. I thought Man City had an off day. Norwich had a good day. Everything went their way. But I think if you played Norwich Man City 10 times at Carrow Road, Man City would win 8 times, maybe even 9 times. It was just one of those days. And I think their end of the lesson, really, Manchester United can't afford to have one of those days today. They've got to go out and win well. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, United Stand. We're live every night at 8 o'clock. Flex is down there today getting the fan cams. Hopefully we're going to get a really positive result from Manchester United and get over the line in what is a massive game for us. Of course, it's a pressure environment. It's a massive game for United. We've got to go and win. I think Ollie's had enough and he will come out with the result. Love the channel, says the United Legion. And how was the match against... what? That's gone. How will you watch the game, Mark? Says Deno and Deguar. I'm going to listen to it on the radio and I'll do what I do. I'm not going to start shouting out on live YouTube how I'm going to watch a game that's not on in the UK, but good try. Saul Marquez, welcome, latest member of the United Stand Members Club. But if you are struggling, just do what I do. There are radio stations out there, and MUTV actually has radio commentary of every Manchester United game as well, so there's always options. Realistically, I only see us winning 1-0, says Loy Leprechaun. I thought, well, yeah, I can see what you're coming at, but I also think that ultimately we've got a good front three. If we can get decent ball to them, we've got a good front three. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was talking about how great Anthony Martial is. So let's see how well he does today. Mark, in all seriousness, would you be happy if United won 1-0 penalty again? Jordan Such. I think if we win, I think to. I think that with regards to today, obviously, if we were to win, that's the main thing. It's about winning today. If we were to win 1-0, then I think and play badly, there would be a lot of criticism. But ultimately, criticism's fine when you're building, isn't it? We wouldn't be. If we play crap and we win 1-0, I won't be over the moon. But I'll certainly be very happy because we just need 3 points today. And, I know Rome wasn't built in a day is such a cliche, but we need to win today. And the confidence we might get from winning, no matter how we do it. Premier League away games are difficult. And unfortunately, a lot of our rivals are not finding it difficult. You've got Chelsea rolling up to Burnley, winning. They should have won that 4-0. You've got Leicester rolling down to Southampton, winning 9-0. It's Man City and Liverpool not having, can do it in second year. So we got to start winning these sort of games. It's simple as that. And I think we will. I'm just going to send this message. Da-na, da-na-na-na-na-na-na. I'll tell you what, we better not lose today because, as many people in the live comments may have picked up on, I'm not in a very good mood today. And I'm just going to admit it. I'm not in a good mood today. JT Music, I can't start shouting that stuff out. I know that, and people will have read it because it's highlighted, but I can't start shouting stuff like that out. A7X Entertainment says, like to thank Flex. I met him yesterday. He was so nice and talked to me a long time. It meant a lot as I struggle with social situations. It made my day. Lovely. That's great to hear, mate. And maybe one day we will meet as well, and I will be nicer than Flex because I am. I'm only joking. Mark, thoughts on Woodward and criticising transfers made, says Wolfie35p. Well, the great thing about this is that Ed Woodward is in charge of the transfers that we make. So I think I find it quite funny, to be honest with you. I find it quite funny that Ed Wood. What can we do to be better before the January transfer window, says Abis Ayer. I think it's very simple. I think Manchester United just need to play good football. Would you take 100 million plus Bale for Pogba, says Flex47. I spoke about this last night. I probably would at this stage. I think United are in such a situation that I think that they probably should do something like that. Yeah. Mark, will you be putting the Ryan Giggs interview on the channel? Says Shrey Tapati. Yes, we will. Yes, we will. AK, how much do you think Martial will actually help us? Do you think the amount of help he is actually going to provide is being overinflated? He will help us as much as we play forward. And going back to that previous comment about what we can do between now and January, same answer. We need to go and win games of football, but we also need to start playing good football as well. So, and Anthony Martial does fit into that as well, because Anthony Martial can't win games on his own if he's not getting the ball in the final third, and he needs to get good quality ball as well. Ole Gunnar Solskjaer put out the best he can with these players. He did his job. Now it's on the players to perform. Can't always blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, says Turby Toon. You're right and you're wrong. You know, I think he has picked the best team he can pick today, but he's in charge of the tactics, the motivation, the structure. So if we go out there and we're not creating chances again, you know, if football was as simple as just putting out 11 players and letting them go and do what they want, then you wouldn't need Pep Guardiola or Jurgen Klopp. You could just have Sam Allardyce or robots. Picking the team's one thing. We've got to go and perform today, and I think we will. I want to keep it positive. I think we will. Jordan Such. Mark, that's the problem though. Even when we do win, we are not seeing anything that would suggest this building nonsense is going to be a success. We need. I think you're right, Jordan. I mean, today, getting 3 points is massive for United. Of course it is, but I think that we also need to go out and get a really big result today. And winning is a big result, but I think also winning well would be nice as well, because we've got a situation at United where we need to be doing a lot better. We need to be doing a lot better. We have got a few problems with the stream today, haven't we? I don't know what it is. Don't know what it is. Let me check it on my phone. It's ruining the flow, that's for sure. Hello? Hello?
No, I just kill it and restart, just because it just keeps dropping out for everyone.
I don't know, mate. Maybe we can't do a stream then. I'll stop it and start it. There's nothing. There's nothing wrong with it.
It just keeps doing it, so. No, never mind.
Alright, I'll give it a try. I'll stop and start again.
See you in a bit.
Alright, cheers. Bye. Bye-bye. Yeah, it's alright people saying it's not too bad, but we've never had this fucking problem before. Right, we're on the same stream. I'm gonna stop it and start it again and see why. I don't understand why it's doing it, because my computer's not even using much. I've got hardly anything open. I've never had this before. There's nothing wrong with it. Okay. I'm still here, everybody. I'm just trying to figure out why it's doing this. Doesn't make any sense. Mark, it sucks. I'm in the US and I get to watch Liverpool because Man United is on TV. That shows how far we have fallen. Oh, I'm just going to carry on. It is what it is, isn't it? You know, if we've got problems, we've done it for 4 years. Never really had any problems before. If it's going to be one of those days, it's going to be one of them days, isn't it? I tell you what, James Stubbs, just fuck off now, mate. I don't need people saying stuff like that. Just go now. In fact, I'll do it for you. Just go. I don't want people like you here anyway. Off you go. There you go. Imrano TV says, Mark, I think Ollie lacks the pedigree to ever win a major trophy. The best we will get is he will make us top 4 in a few seasons just because he'll be able to add better players. Thoughts? I do think that today's game is going to be a massive issue with regards to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer's future at United. I think if he was to lose, then the issue will be there, and if he was to win, then there will be a bit more positivity. Ultimately, football's a very easy game, isn't it? You either win it or you lose it. You're either doing well or you're not. And if you don't do well, then you get the pressure, and we've seen that over all my life. So. Yeah, I mean, Drawty's saying that he's having real problems with it. It's now 360p. Oh, I'm just fed up with this. I'm fed up with it. Hi Mark, hope you're feeling good soon. Hopefully the result will help, but we all here for you, mate, says Humi. I'm fine, I'm just pissed off because, you know, you set everything up, everything works absolutely fine, and then you go on a fucking stream and it starts doing this. But I'm not restart your computer. Yeah, I'll tell you what, I'll restart my computer 20 minutes before kickoff, and we'll all fuck off for 5 minutes and have a cup of tea, because that's how it works. Do you think Pogba is faking it a bit, says Austin B? No, I don't. We lose Ollie out, simple as that, says Will B. Seems like a YouTube problem, then it's fine for some of us, says Snakey. It is. The quality is poor, yes it is, James, you're right. I'm not on McDonald's Wi-Fi, no. And Biggie Third says, what is your feelings about Gary recommending Rodgers to City to replace Pep when he obviously can do a better job than his mate at United right now? Gary Neville's never going to recommend Brendan Rodgers to United, is he? He might do if Mourinho was still in charge, but Ollie's his big mate, isn't he? So he's not going to do that. Roma Dude says he refreshed his page and everything's back to normal. And John Games P says, back to 4-2-3-1. How are you watching today's game? I'm not answering that question again. I'm absolutely bored of it. You know it's not on in the UK, so I don't know whether people are trying to get me to say something that I'm not going to say. I'll be listening to it on the radio, thank you. Real Nain, thanks for the contribution. How do you say Ed Woodward without any D's? Ewa. Woo-wa. Behind United 100%, Ollie or not, the fans need to see goals today, says Sandy Jack. What I was going to go on my phone to do was to see whether Newcastle have drawn, which I think they have, which means that United cannot drop any further than where we currently are in the league, which is 15th in the league at the moment. 10-man Newcastle hold Wolves, in fact. So if I was to show you this... look at the league table as it stands at the moment. Manchester United down in 15th place. But we can't drop any further. Newcastle actually have played 10 games now, so they're up to 9 points. But United, even if we lose today, Norwich can move to the same as us, but they can't go above us. So that's how that will go. Simple as. Ollie needs to deliver today, says Lawrence Dicker. If we score today, we'll be the first Premier League to reach 2,000 goals, says Kilian Dimations. Well, that's a positive. That is a positive that we should all be very happy about. Cantwell and Bendaya are ones for me, more than Pukki. Yes, Pukki's the main man, but it's the two wingers that supply him. Stop them two and you stop Pukki, says Humi. Well, the reality is that with regards to Pukki, he's not actually been that great for a while. He had a good start to the season, but he's not been that great for a while. So I'm not that fussed about him. I'm not fussed about Norwich. Joe Wilson says, Mark, is our scouting network really as good as it is portrayed to be? Not signing Bruno Fernandes is the perfect example of some people being clueless. Yeah, I'd agree with you on that one. I think that not signing Bruno Fernandes was a little bit stupid from Manchester United's point of view. Mark, I'm from South Africa and love the channel, but next week, Saturday, we will be enemies for at least 2 hours. Yes, Sheldon, I'm looking forward to that. Rugby, World Cup, England, South Africa. Probably would have preferred Wales, but then again, maybe I wouldn't. Hey everyone, Day needs to stop running around and scoring goals, says Claudio Grant. Mark, how are we 15th when our squad is better than at least 12 teams? Don't you think it's time up for Ollie? Says Panache. Well, we've got a game coming up in the next few minutes, Panache. So that will be where it gets defined, won't it? Simple as. Could you sing the 1989 line, please? Says Paper Blanket. Give him time. We're back in 1989. Aman says, hi Mark, why do you think Ollie played 3 at the back versus Partizan but not versus Norwich? Shouldn't that be in reverse? I don't know why you'd go so defensive against Partizan Belgrade, who are worse than Norwich. But I suppose I don't know. It's a good point. I haven't got an answer to that. My theory might be something along the lines of, maybe we did that because he didn't want to lose in Partizan because he knew a point would be enough to get us through the group, and then we won. Today he can't. A draw's not good enough for United today. So going 3 at the back, you're almost setting up for a draw. He needs to win. I think he knows that. Alligator, are we scoring more than a goal today? And if we draw, Ollie still needs to go, in your opinion? You don't get sacked off draws. So a draw is the worst possible result for us today. I don't want a draw today. You know, of course, you'd normally say I'll take a draw over a loss, but to be honest with you, I don't think a draw is much better than a loss for us today. We need 3 points. We need it. Subreth Vivekanda says, hello from Perth, Mark. Keep up the great work with all your content across all your channels, especially the United Stand. Was great to meet Flex in Perth. Cheers, mate. God, Flex is getting a lot of shout-outs today, isn't he? Mark, watch the game. So thank you for that, UK TV. You do get sacked for wins, though, says Liam Mellor. Don't know that. Hughes got sacked after a 2-2 draw with United last year, says Lennon14. He did. But I mean, I'm talking about Manchester United. We're not going to go sacking our manager if he gets a draw today. We won't do that. My score prediction, and get your score predictions as well in. My score prediction today is going to be 3-1 United. 3-1 United is what I'm going to go for, because I just fancy United to win. Welcome to Kartik Kumar, the latest member of the United Stand Members Club. And Rashford can score his 50th and Man United's 2000th today. I'm not going to do a World Cup final watch along, unfortunately for you. And hello, Mark. Love from Malaysia. 4-1 to Norwich. Man United to win 3-0. And 1-0, 1-0, 1-0, 1-0. Thanks, Luca, but I don't read them all out anyway. Sometimes they do get missed. Wow, we're going to score more than one, says Tom Oslo. And where are the goals coming from? Well, Martial's back. Thoughts on a socks emoji in memory of the flex, says Gold Peace Prosperity. I like what you've done there. I like what you're doing there. So, yeah, it is Liverpool versus Spurs. Got absolutely no relevance to us, to be honest with you, has it? Liverpool against Spurs today. No relevance with us at all. We don't need to be occupying our minds with that because they're both way ahead of... I mean, we could catch Spurs. We could go ahead of Spurs today, actually. There is an opportunity to go ahead of Spurs today. And that's massive from a Manchester United point of view. To go ahead of those would be fantastic, of course. Just trying some stuff out here. So Ancelotti is the man for us. Ollie out, says Farhad. I mean, I do like Ancelotti. I can't lie about that. I do like Ancelotti, but he's not necessarily the right man for Manchester United, is he, at this point? Because I think we can do a lot better than that. I do. I'm just trying things out on my phone just to make sure that I can see if we can get it any better. Talk, Goldbridge. Let's see how we're doing. It's alright, you don't get a copyright strike for your own content. Talk, Goldbridge. Let's see how we're doing. It's alright, you don't get a copyright strike for your own content. Yeah, it is still doing it. I see what people mean. A team that got pumped at home to Villa, lost to Palace, Burnley, West Ham, Chelsea, other than a freak result against City. Are we really worried about it? In all honesty, they're a championship team, says Who Me. A team that... Oh, people, this is it's really hard. This is one of those days where I just wish I actually had a guest because I could actually do some stuff, but I don't have a guest, so I've got to try and work through this on my own with 10 minutes to go before kickoff. Well, we will be doing the stream, so don't worry about that. That's not going to not happen, but we have been struggling with intermittent performance for a little bit of a while, so I'm not restarting my PC. So anybody who tells me to restart the PC, you're having a fucking laugh. I'm not restarting the PC. So I'll just keep saying it. I'm not restarting the PC. It could be YouTube, Marp. I'm having to click 4 times to do a super chat to work as it comes up as an error, says Who Me. It could be YouTube. On the other hand, it might not be. It might be something else. Thinking Ollie's up for the job is like trusting a junior doctor to perform brain surgery on your mum, says Meb3. And thinking, yeah, we've read that one. Let me just have a... Well, I don't... The thing is, if I go and have a look at somebody else, because somebody said that True Geordie's having the same issue, who's in London doing a totally different show. But if I look at it, it could still be the same issue that I've got. So it might. I can't tell. Let me have a quick look. Actually, that's quite a good idea. 10 minutes till kick off, everybody. But that's a very good idea.
That to me looked like the first one.
No, they're not having the same problems I'm having. No way. They're crystal clear. Very well. Bastards. Very well. Bastards. Right, I'm going to try one last thing here, and hopefully it will work. I will stop the stream and start the stream. Hello everybody, that was very, very quick. Hopefully that will address a few of the issues with it, and we'll have to suck it and see and hope that it works. It might address the problems that we're having with the stream. I'm putting my fingers together and hoping, because if it's not, it's a Wi-Fi issue, and if it's a Wi-Fi issue, then well, you're not, but I'm screwed. Yeah, I think we fixed it. I think I fixed it. Thanks for that. Thanks for everybody. And you're right. You know, maybe streaming through Wi-Fi is not the best thing to do, McCarthy. I've never ever thought of that before because I've always just done it through Wi-Fi. So there we go. There we go. McCarthy, thanks for that. Although my live comments is now frozen. Although it's bat. Boom, boom. It's okay in Bury. Please don't let this annoy you, Mark. It's frustrating, but we appreciate all you do. Get a nice glass of red and enjoy, hopefully, the result and the game. Thank you. There we go. I know it was all right for some people, but it was just to make sure that it was all right for everybody. That's what we want. So good stuff. Good stuff. Yeah, I've got Draughty's having to keep an eye on it as well. There's always options, you see. There's always options. That's what I say. So, team news is correct on the left there. We're only a few minutes away from kickoff now. In fact, we're 5 minutes away from kickoff, which is obviously very exciting for those of us who are looking forward to this game, which I am. I think that Manchester United can win this game. I think that we need to go and win this game, and I think that we will go and win this game of football. I think Norwich obviously are a threat. I don't want to dismiss that, of course. I don't. I think that they can get something out of it, but I think United will as well. I'm seeing a few talks about. Let me just get Twitter up here because that's more. Twitter has its good and bad things, but I'm hearing some stuff about Martial in the warm up, which we really don't want to be the case. Of course, I don't want Martial to be injured. Please don't let Martial be injured. That would be a bloody nightmare, to be honest with you. So, and I don't think he is. I think he's absolutely fine, which is good. Yeah, nothing. It's just people in the live comments trying to be jokers, and they can be blocked. They can be blocked. Get rid of them for being idiots. Missed a couple of shows lately. Have you had any say on Scholes' thoughts that Ozil is what this team needs? Sounds like same old trap to me, says Mr. Clint 99. If Paul Scholes has said that, I would be absolutely gobsnaps. Why are all 3 matches played at the same time, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath? I don't know, mate. I don't know. I think you raise a very good point there. I think that it would have been nice if one of them had been played at 2 o'clock. I think United maybe should have been to at 2 o'clock, but ultimately it is what it is. God, I've got people messaging me all sorts of stuff. This is not the time, but it's probably important. 3 minutes away from kickoff. Can I kiss you, Mark? I love you, says Yilmaz. I probably do need a bit of a kiss, to be honest, today. These things are sent to testers, of course, and I accept that. We need to win, says Styler Boy. And he's right, we do. We definitely do. Share. Done. Okay. Man United are going to lose, says Blank Face. Show a bit of positivity. And Drawty's just sent me something good, which is great. Let me just send him a message back. Three minutes to kick off. 3 minutes to kick off. Let me know where you're watching from. I want to be a bit nosy before we kick off. Let me know where you're watching from and what time it is. The clocks have gone forward here, actually. The clocks have gone forward here, so that's interesting for everybody. It's interesting from my point of view, anyway. Have a look, quick look at the league table for you there. As you can see, Manchester United. There we go. We've got people in LA, Bury. We've got people everywhere. Big game for United today, as we know. Massive game for Manchester United today. A game that they have to win, to be honest with you. They absolutely have to win it. We've got people in Aberdeen watching as well. Great. You're very welcome. Come on, Manchester United. Mark, you don't like me. Why not read my super chat, says Dano Jr. I just did. And give the Wi-Fi time. It was back in 1989, says Imrano TV. We don't need to win. That only perpetuates the status quo, says Meb Third. You've lost me with your clever big words there. I don't really know what you're talking about, to be honest with you. But we're very, very close to kick-off now. We're about set. And as soon as we get the kick-off, I will tell you how it's going. Oh, I tell you what, I could crush a grape today. I could absolutely crush a grape today. It's fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. Absolutely. Bloody fantastic this is. I fucking believe it. I can't believe it now. The bloody radio thing's not working. Do you think Ollie will get back to his old formation, says Tobias Granfold? What, 4-3-3 attack? I hope so. Right, we're about ready. Got me radio ready. Right, okay. So, let's get the timer up ready for you as well. And we're up and running. We're up and running with the kickoff. There we go. No, we're not 5 minutes in already. Would you take Allegri, says Ivor Hardy. Lovely name. No, I wouldn't. And Spurs are winning 1-0 already with Harry Kane. Funny, funny. Funny, funny. Right, come on United. Let's get up and running in this game. Mark, my hungover feels horrific, says Ali K. Well, I hope you feel better after today. You don't want to be feeling any bloody worse. Liverpool are losing 1-0. It's official. They're losing 1-0. Steady start from United so far. Steady start. That is good news, Draughty. United dictating the play at the moment. Remember, a lot of people in the live comments may not be able to watch the game today. So, if you are watching it, do get in there with your tactics and your thoughts so far. Remember Fred talking about how well him and... how well him and McTominay have been doing. So let's see how well they do today. Come on, United, says Corella Bruce. Tottenham oozing. Spurs have scored already. Well, that's a massive shock, isn't it, in a game so early to score like that. But I still don't think Spurs will win that game. Spurs are actually setting themselves up for more of a fall in many ways, aren't they? They're probably setting themselves up for more of a fall. What does Giggs think of the current situation to Sly's Sinus D92? You'll find out. You'll find out when the video goes up, won't you? Steady start so far. Only a couple minutes gone for United, but a bit of a steady start from United so far. It's all about getting the possession, getting hold of this game, not letting them get the hold of it. Murray says, I watched the game on mute listening to you. Thanks. Good. Lots going on today. Lots going on today. It's Pookie, not Pookie, says Ducky Moo or Momo. 4-3-3. Oh, God. Rashford needs to stop closing his eyes on headers, says IQ 1985. He definitely does. He definitely does. What radio station is it on? I presume it's on Radio Manchester. I presume it's on Radio Norwich. It's definitely on MUTV. Good chance there for Norwich. Pookie, almost 1-0. Well, it wasn't actually Pookie, it was Cantwell, and it was a big chance for Norwich, and it should have been 1-0 really. It's just not, I mean, this is the problem with United. You've got to grab hold of games early on. I know we're the away team, but you've got to do better than that. You've got to do better than that, especially in this sort of thing. Norwich are going to body us, says Matthew G. Cantwell's a very good player for Norwich. A very, very good player for Norwich. And let's hope it's going to be one of those days for Norwich. I mean, I don't think that we can take them lightly. I just think I've got a lot of faith in United getting the result today, because I think United have to get a result today. I think anything else is going to be very, very difficult for him. Neil says he's scared. Don't be scared, Neil. We'll be all right. I've got a feeling. Mike says, I've got a $100 bet we won't have a shot on goal. We'll definitely have a shot on goal. We'll definitely have a shot on goal, mate. I've lost my live comments. Come back. Nearly 1-0 to Norwich. Well, it was outside the box. He side-footed it over. We're so open on the flanks. It's like playing 2-4-3-2. Ash and Wan-Bissaka are so forward, leaving gaps, says Humi. I think that's interesting. I mean, we shouldn't be doing that. We shouldn't be doing that with Aaron Wan-Bissaka and Ashley Young. We shouldn't be doing that with those two players. You had a feeling against Newcastle. I honestly can't remember the last time I went into a game feeling confident we would get all 3 points, says Sean Turner. Imrano TV, can't bloody well score. I like it. Anyone else watching in the US, the NBC is showing Arsenal even when you click on United, says Charles Crane. And Sean Turner, well, yeah, look, I did have a feeling against Newcastle because I expect Manchester United to win those sort of games against Newcastle. But with regards to today, I think that United have got to approach it in the right way. Of course we've got to do that. And I think that, but feelings are feelings. I actually said I don't think United are going to lose to Liverpool, and I was right. I said I don't think we'll lose to Arsenal, and I was right. I don't get to watch the game here in the USA. I have the NBC Sports Pass, and every time I click on United, it plays Arsenal. Thank God for this channel, says Zachary Purvis. Well, that is really interesting, isn't it? Because this is something that we've spoken about a few times with America. Arsenal are 1-0 up anyway, whereby United will become less and less popular the longer that this goes on, and that the longer their lack of form is there. So, yeah, interesting. Josh says, who scored for Arsenal? I'll take a guess. It's probably Aubameyang. It's always bloody Aubameyang. United on the attack at the moment with Dan James. James and Rashford are playing so inside, leaving the fullbacks to cope with the flanks on their own, but defending we open up because Norwich's fullbacks bomb forward, says Humi. Thanks for the contribution from Chuck in Bangkok. Socrates scored for Arsenal, not what his face, Aubameyang. Nine minutes gone and it's 0-0. 2-0 to Arsenal apparently now. I told you they were going to win today. I don't like to be right, but I am right. So, quite an equal game to start with for United. I mean, look, a lot of people think it's going to be a draw. Do you think it's going to be a draw? I think... So, both centre-backs have scored. Liverpool are losing, Ant. We're aware of that. Liverpool are losing. Liverpool are 2-0. Arsenal are 2-0 up. Liverpool are losing. You can't get it on Sky, Sam. No, it's not on in the UK. I've got radio piece in my ear. You can listen to it on numerous outlets, but if you're really struggling, MUTV. But I know a lot of people don't really want to pay for that. Pereira just shooting there, just gone wide. Good effort from Pereira. I have 7,000 channels and I can't find it on any. I've been searching for ages. Please help, says Rathman. Dark Nights in the UK. Nothing to do with anything to do with the Batman thing. Minus Charles Crane says, I'm a new member. Welcome to Charles. Minus Pogba and Shaw, this is our best possible lineup, though I'd like to see more youth involved. Thank God no Mata or Matic. And I think that's a good comment from Chuck in Bangkok. Please do subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. Thanks everyone for tuning in today, of course. Very, very big game for Manchester United. Lots of other games going on as well. Yeah, good to see Pereira getting a shot off for United there. If not, it was just a little bit wide. And it has gone quick, this first 11.5 minutes. We can't show you the game. I'm surprised people still do ask about that. But please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner. This game is live on the TV channel Rush 3, says Amrano TV. I don't believe him. Arsenal pretty much getting the game won and done and dusted very early on for them, isn't it? I mean, the thing about Norwich is that there is a real opportunity for Manchester United here today to get 3 points. And I know people will be like, oh no, you don't know what you're bloody on about, but there is. They do ship goals, Norwich, and I think that's something that United need to be really playing advantage of. Milan had Maldini, Inter had Zanetti, we have Ashley Young, legends, says Alligator. Well, how would you feel today if we got a draw, by the way? I know we've not really discussed too much about that, but how would you feel if we got a draw today as a United fan? Would you be happy with a draw? Can you call my dad a bus wanker? His name is Serif, says Adam Goskin. I'm not going to call somebody a wanker. Thanks for the contribution, but we're not going to be doing that. Very rude. Draw is a loss, says O'Connor. Disappointing, says Sprinky. Disgusted, says Freddie Mercury. No, we need to win, says Shane Rudd. And Ollie out if we do not win. Over, but Mr. Glenn Johnson, thanks for the contribution, mate. I am married, thank you. Yes, I'm not available for. I have played the new Call of Duty, Ali Rahman. I really enjoyed it. Sean C says, if people are having issues with MUFC Sports Gold, just log out and log back in. It worked for me. Game is now playing with no commentary, says Sean C. So if you're in America and you're having problems with NBC Sports Gold, that's how you do it. Matt Rush, McSauce playing with glass boots, not put a tackle in yet. Andreas looks better behind Martial. I think with Pereira, the key with Pereira is always to play him more centrally. Not as a right winger. Not as a right winger. How would you feel, Mark, about a draw, says Ryan Rooney? I've called it a dross already. I've already called it a dross. I would not be happy with the draw today. We've got to get a win. We've got to get a win today. By hook or by crook. I don't think you will reply that this are you, says Akmal. Maybe construct a better thing. We have had a shot. It was Andreas Pereira and it was wide. So we have had a shot. Let's not forget that. We have had a shot. Can you call my dad a bus wanker? His name is Serif, says Adam Koskin. You've already asked us for that. I'd say United are on top at the moment. I know that sounds bad, but and ominous, but we're having more of the ball. Maybe Norwich showing us a little bit of respect, but yeah. Took a chance, 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 took a chance. Going to be interesting, the Rugby World Cup final, says Joshua Kane. Yeah, that's something for the future. Don't read this, just use it, says fitness and scripter Sharath Kanath. Everyone will read it though. Everyone will read it. We are worse than Portsmouth. We're not bloody losing. We're not losing. Martial is a Poundland Musée, says Adam Kuskin. The chat is better than the United game, says Key Buckley. How can we have a watch along when we can't even watch it, says yeah. Cress Welsing really doesn't understand this after 4 years. Surely it's not your first watch along. Why are we such a dead team? Feels bad, man, says Fitness and Scriptors Sharath. And sing us some ABBA, Mark. I've just done it, Alligator. You can change your mind. I'm the first in. I don't want to get a copyright strike because I'm so good. Oh, you could go dancing. We've had a shot on goal from Rashford. Good effort. Not a goal, though. Good save by Krul, to be fair. Martial's teeing it up, and Rashford not finding the back of the net. Best moment of the game for United by no shadow of a doubt. But he's got to score. I think he should have. I think he's got to score it as well, Teddy, to be honest. But he didn't score, and it remains 0-0. But United definitely the team on top though at the moment, so take that as a positive and party. It'd be interesting to see how Martial does at United as well though, because I do feel that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, always trying to be Mr. Positive, has sort of put a bit of pressure onto Martial by saying how great he is, and you know he is great, but I've had a super chat here from Who Me. Says United coming into the game a lot more. However, McTominay is our playmaker currently. Laugh out loud. It's very slow. There's no pace or penetration. Attacking, looking for an opening. Well, United they're definitely the team on top at the moment, but it's about turning that that into. Oh, Tim Krul's just made a cracking save. Defender on the line. Oh, Martial. Martial really should be scoring that, but it's a save by him. McTominay has scored for Manchester United. It's a cross from Andreas Pereira, and it's 1-0 to Manchester United. McTominay getting on the head of the goal, taking Manchester United's domination and putting Manchester United in the lead. Arsenal 2, Manchester United winning 1-0 as well, and it's McTominay from Pereira. Pereira's been very impressive. United get the lead that they deserve, and I told you United are going to get the 3 points today, and it's McTominay delivering the sauce. It's 1-0. Oh, let's get him a bloody tits now. We're in front though anyway. 1-0 to Manchester United. I've got to change the score, which is why I'm getting a bit pissed off, because it won't bloody change the score. It's like, no, United can't be 1-0 up. Come on. This would be a massive win for United if we get it. And this is what I mean. That's what I want to say. Canaries, more like a bowl of cold custard, because they're not playing that well at the moment, Norwich. And I think everybody's just talking about this Man City game that happened in August. They lost 5-1 at home to Aston Villa. They're not that good. They're not that good. And, you know, we don't need to be worried about them. We don't need to be worried about them. This game's there for the taking for United. Big goal for United, that. Big goal. Apologies, everybody. I know we've had a few problems with the stream today. I know we're having a few problems. I can't do anything about it. I can see it on my screen as well. It's clearly an internet issue, but I'm just going to work through it today, and hopefully it'll be all right. Please do subscribe. Drawty says it's back. It's just a bit intermittent today. I'm trying to minimise things. In fact, let me close another browser down. We will learn from this, don't worry. We will learn. McTominay with the goal, yes. 1-0 to Manchester United, and it's a big goal in a big game for United. We desperately do need to be winning this. And whilst that's the case, let me just show you this. Forget page 2. Manchester United at this moment in time would be up to 8th. We could be up to 7th if Spurs don't win, but we'd be up to 7th place with 13 points. But Spurs are winning against Liverpool, so that's how it is. 2,000 goals for Manchester United as well in the Premier League, says Manas. Yes, forgot about that. But yeah, you're spot on with that. But United leading 1-0 is the main thing. Might be a penalty for United here. James goes down, shoved. They might feel it's a bit hard. Well, no, he's not given a penalty. VAR will have a look at it. Martial again, on form, slips in Dan James, and I don't think they're going to VAR it. Well, I think they're saying it's a shoulder barge. To be honest with you, there's no VAR coming in, and well, I don't think VAR is going to look at that, is it? By the sounds of it. Or VAR is going to check it. I think it will not be a penalty by the sounds of it. Although there is no touch on the ball. So it's Dan James again. Not a penalty. Not a penalty. It's a very long VAR check. Penalty! It's a penalty to Manchester United. Well, soft or not, that has been given. VAR, I told you, sometimes VAR, you've got to love VAR. It's a penalty to Manchester United. Huge moment. They're 3 points in the bag in the first half an hour. And it's interesting because the VAR has overturned the ref as well. Did we actually score from a set piece, says Sean Byrne? Another penalty, Marcus Rashford. Rashford. Martial makes so much better with his decision, says Twally18. Oh, he's bloody missed it! Oh, he's bloody missed it! Friggin' hell, Marcus! What a prat! What a bloody prat! What an opportunity as well. We get gifted a penalty we shouldn't have even got. And what a prat. That would have been 3 points in the bag. What a prat. Bloody hell. Game would have been done. But yeah, exactly. You get a chance like that. Everybody except United fans are going to say, no way is that a penalty. Never in a million years is that a penalty. And he bloody misses it. You get given an opportunity like that and you miss the bloody penalty. I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Did Ryan Giggs surprise you with any of his opinions or his answers scripted? I know you say much with the upcoming videos, says Mark Wynn. Well, I can't say much, Mark. Just it will be up. And obviously he's not going to talk too much about everything. Don't forget Martial played in James, something we never seen from Rashford. And Rashford, he misses as I type, says Ernest Tabari. Big. 2-0 to United. Rashford scores. Martial is the striker he should have taken it, says Brandon Slaughter, but it doesn't matter. It's 2-0 and it's Marcus Rashford. Dan James slips in him and Rashford scores this time. I told you Norwich was shit. They're absolutely shit. Lovely stuff. Manchester United leading now 2-0. Lovely ball by Dan James, and Rashford doesn't miss this time. Let's change the score, people. This is looking like a very comfortable afternoon for Manchester United. And what did I say before the game? 1, I said United will win. But 2, I said that front 3 makes such a big difference to Manchester United. And Ole Gunnar Solskjaer now will be thinking, you know what? This is it. This is it. Play a bit of attacking football. Look, Norwich are shit, but you can only beat what's in front of you. You can only beat what's in front of you. Half an hour gone. Looking comfortable. And I told you, though, Norwich at the back are rubbish. Absolute rubbish. We're going to win the league, says Jay Richardson. I wouldn't... Well, you know, I know you're joking, but look. Sometimes Goldbridge gets it right. I said Norwich, terrible at the back. And everyone's talking to me about Man City. And I'm like, man, what does Man City mean? Like, Man City was... When did they beat Man City? Was it August or something like that? They're a new promoted team who's had their day. Let's get the record back. 0-10, says Sean Atwood. I tell you what, today could be a turning point for United. Because if we go and smash a load of goals... Confidence is up, isn't it? But a lot of people are expecting us to lose today. And Dan James, Martial... I mean, that was a penalty set up by Martial. Dan James fouled. Rashford missed, but, you know, Dan James setting up Rashford. As a front 3, we're going to cause people problems. Hypothetical for you. Would you take a year in the Championship if it guaranteed the Glazers sold up, says Meb3. Let's enjoy being 2-0 up for a moment. Rashford hits the side netting. Close again from United. They're absolutely dominating. They're awful. I told you Norwich are shit at the back. I told you this. Corner for United as well. Absolutely all over them. United are all over them. They're terrible. They're absolutely terrible. Can we play Norwich every week? Can we play them every week? Apparently Crystal Palace have scored as well. Let's have a quick look actually what's going on in the other games. Half 4. Half 6. 7. Yeah, okay. I'm just working out it. Love the passion, mate, says Morty. You can't. I've always said this. Look, whether you're Ollie in or whether you're Ollie out, you can only beat what's in front of you. And we were never going to stay. You can't. You know, look at Manchester United's record since we lost to PSG. We beat PSG. It's been terrible. But you can't... A club of Manchester United size, with the players we've got, we can't keep losing, drawing, losing. You're going to win some games. And if you are Ollie out, today doesn't mean that you're wrong. In fact, I would have less respect for an Ollie outer if they said after today, oh, we're back. You know, that's not the way you should be at all. You know, you've got to stick with your decisions. And just because we've won today doesn't mean we won't get smashed by Chelsea or Bournemouth. But I think Norwich, when coming into this game, perfect game for Manchester United. If you've been monitoring what Norwich have been doing for the last few weeks, they've been really, really poor at keeping clean sheets. And they've been shifting a lot of goals as well. Liverpool are still losing to Spurs, by the way. There is still a second half, says Genwell Belandres. Yeah, and we don't normally do that well in the second half, do we? But I just wanted to just have a quick check at something for you as well. Piss off. I want football. 65% possession as well, says Keegan Pillai. That was actually something I was going to be looking at, but you've sort of took it away for me. But I can still have a look. I mean, Liverpool have had 76% possession against Spurs, but they are losing. They won't lose. Uh, 60% possession for United. 7 shots, of which 6 have been on target for United today. Massive, massive difference. Massive difference. I mean, Norwich had that early chance with Cantwell, but apart from that, it's been total United domination. And Fred's been the player that's been sitting in the midfield a lot more. 2-0 to Manchester United. 10 minutes to half-time. Comfortable. Tell you what, it'd be good if Palace... Martial's looking sharp, isn't he? Martial looks sharp as a Stanley knife. Norwich with a bit of a chance there. But Wan-Bissaka doing what Wan-Bissaka does, tackling for Manchester United. So United lead. We've got to take this into half time. 2-0 at half time, or 3-0 would be nice. Next goal. 2-0 is always a dangerous scoreline. We talk about this cliche. 2-0, such a dangerous scoreline in football, and it is. But Norwich coming back into it a little bit. United just sitting off a little bit. Oh, look, we're the away team, of course, but long shot by Cantwell, and I think it might have gone for a corner. David De Gea just tipping it over the bar. But we need to keep it at 2. We need to keep it at 2 because being the away team, you don't want to be 2-0 up and then letting a goal in. Right. How are you all feeling anyway? How are we all feeling as United fans? How do we feel that we're winning this game? How do you feel? Like, seriously. I detect that... I hope that we haven't got people who are disappointed that we're winning. Because, we're Manchester United fans at the end of the day, the vast majority of us. And we should want to be winning games. And it'd be a big win for us if we can get the win. United on the attack again here with Maguire into Rashford. I don't think there can be any complaints about that VAR thing, by the way. We didn't score it, so Norwich and any other person who wants to have a moan about it can have a moan, but the reality is we didn't score it anyway. So justice was probably served, whether it was a soft penalty or not. I want to get 5 goals today. Very confident, says Xavier Daniels. Very good performance from United so far. Good, good, good. We're up to 8th at the moment because Spurs are winning, but Spurs won't win at Anfield. So we could be 7th tonight, which would be a real big boost for us. Great game so far. Love the channel and the content. Keep up the great work. Happy Diwali, everyone. United are asking for a penalty again. United could have a penalty here from VAR. It's a shot by Fred. It hits a hand, and I think they are looking at another penalty for Manchester United via VAR, which would be 3-0. Game over. Norwich manager looks like a Game of Thrones character. Well, that's a penalty for me. Absolutely stonewall penalty. It's like the PSG incident. Martial should take this one. And that, there can be no complaints. There can be no complaints. It's a blatant penalty. I'd rather us lose the next 5 games so while he gets sacked. Short-term pain for long-term gain, as they say, says Dane Summer. He'll get the sack at some point anyway if he's not good enough. But there's a penalty for Manchester United, very similar to the penalty that was given against PSG. Player with his arm in an unorthodox position. I don't care whether you're a United fan or not. That is a penalty. That is a penalty. There cannot be no moaning about it. It's by the rule. Mr. Glenn Johnson says PSG 2.0. Martial's got to take it, hasn't he? The amount games by Ollie this week were amazing, says Midu Ayub. And Leicester and Chelsea performances gave Ollie the kick he needed. He knows he can't hide anymore, says Smith Jones, and I think that's true. McSauce, Pereira and Martial on fire, says Ashley GR. Martial 2 in 2. I told you, Martial is coming. Martial's back and he's coming for you, Aubameyang. Tim Krul is brilliant at penalty saves, by the way, but he ain't that brilliant because Anthony Martial, he don't miss penalties. Anthony Martial. Oh, he's bloody missed it! Wow, 2 bloody penalties we've missed. 2 bloody penalties we've missed. Martial and Rashford. I mean, we're winning 2-0, so I don't want to moan too much, but I tell you what, it's gonna give Norwich. It's gonna give Norwich a bloody a boost, that is, a boost. Because you can't miss 2 penalties when you're 2-0 up. Bloody hell. Bloody hell. Piss off, Somali King, saying I jinxed it. We've had 2 bloody penalties. 2 bloody penalties. You can't miss 2 penalties. Bloody get Stevie Wonder on the pitch. He would have scored 1 out of 2. You can't have 2 penalties and miss. Jesus Christ. What's answers on a postcard, everybody? What's our bloody percentage of penalty misses this season? I tell you what, this day better not go the way it's going to go. Oh, I don't know. This Norwich keeper is on something, says Joshua Kane. But remember, this is the Norwich goalkeeper, Tim Krul, that came on, that Van Gaal brought on, didn't he? Brought him on in the World Cup. He took off, what was his name? I forget his name. I can picture him, skinny blonde. Not the skinny blonde I like, but yeah, it's 80% of penalties we've missed. I don't know whether that's right or not, but Krul was off his line for both penalties, says Will Duxbury. Well, this is the thing. You've got VAR accurately telling you when it's a penalty or not, but you haven't got one of the big rules that they brought in this season being followed, whereby a goalkeeper should not be moving off his line. But 2 penalty misses for United, 2-0. Don't worry, Mark, the penalty was taken before you said it, says Fitness Unscripted Sharath Kamath. Well, what I would say, listen, that was it. What? Yellow card for Wan-Bissaka. But what I would say about it is, look, it's frustrating because we could be 4-0 up and we could be getting we could be winning 9-0 like everybody else seems to be doing at the moment. But what I would say is, and Wan-Bissaka and a yellow card's not a great thing. But defensively, we're very good. So I wouldn't say that you have to sell one, McTominay or Dan James, says DPP. Definitely McTominay. Goalkeeper game of their life against United, nothing new, says Mr. Glenn Johnson. Look, we are winning 2-0. I think if we'd missed 2 penalties and it was 0-0, I think we would all be we'd all have a right to be a little bit more pissed off. But the reality is we're all right. And I tell you what, I haven't jinxed anything because I didn't take the bloody penalty. I think people who talk about jinxes, tell you what, why don't you go and put your rabbit's foot in your pocket and all your other superstitious mumbo jumbo, because it's a load of bollocks. You don't jinx a player. They take the penalty and they miss themselves. We need to get better at penalties. Yes, Garkey, we do. Wan-Bissaka has been booked, yep. Those penalty misses prove our problems in the front, says Vero J. I predicted United were going to win this game, and I think that United will win this game, but it should be 4-0, as Xavi says. And you know, if we'd come away from here with a massive result, then massive score. But you can't be, people. I mean, look. I don't like VAR. Today, VAR has been great for United. It's been brilliant for United. I don't like VAR. But the point is, you can't argue about the second one. It's his hands up in the air like that. He may as well get some bloody Shaw for men. He's got his arm up like that. But with regards to the other one on Dan James, people are saying shoulder barge, but reality is, the goalkeeper, the Norwich player doesn't even touch the ball either. He makes a tackle and doesn't tackle. I think VAR will always go rule book, won't it? And Norwich will say get a new rule book, but it is half time. Let me stop the whistle there. Let me stop the clock there. Very, very fast half for United. But we're winning 2-0. We're winning 2-0. And look, please do subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, we got fan cams. We're live every day, 8 o'clock. Loads of stuff. Make sure you subscribe mainly though, because we've got the Ryan Giggs interview coming up tomorrow on the channel. It'll be up tomorrow afternoon, so watch out for that Ryan Giggs interview on the United stand. Really looking forward to that for you. Subscribe, bottom right hand corner. But what a refreshing change, and I'm not even promoting cider. We are talking about Manchester United being 2-0 up. 2-0 up against Norwich, and also missing 2 penalties. We are moaning about missed penalties, but we are still very comfortable in a game. And look, I think that, as I've said many a time, United, we're never going to keep losing forever. And we're never going to keep dropping points forever. At some point, we're going to pick up a win. What Manchester United need to get some consistency is to go and win today, beat Bournemouth and beat Brighton. 9 points. Look, Chelsea on Wednesday night is going to be interesting, but what we need is points on the board in the Premier League table. We've got to start winning. If we'd lost today against Norwich, we'd be 10 points off 4th. If we win, we're still 7 off. It's still a lot, but we've got to win today. And I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer knows that. And I think people in the live comments who've been saying, oh, you know what, we've got this situation. I'm going to take this out of me here for a moment. I think people who've been saying, maybe Leicester's result on Friday, Chelsea's result yesterday, it's made Ole throw caution to the wind. And I think you're right, because I think if he'd come here today, and some people would say, well, why aren't we playing the 3 at the back? Maybe if he had played 3 at the back, then we would have had that situation. A lovely finish by McTominay, by the way. Maybe if we'd had been playing 3 at the back, then we might have had that situation whereby we're a little bit defensive and we're inviting Norwich on. And that what a mistake that would have been today. You've got to go on the front foot against Norwich. You've got to go on the front foot because they're so bad at the back. They are. And I think that he's got it right today, and maybe the results over the weekend have forced him into that. Because if we'd gone defensive against Norwich, we're in big trouble because you're not going to exploit them defensively. So, very, very good. Just looking at some of the stats there, we've had 8 shots on target to 1 for Norwich. Total attempts 12 to 4, 57% possession, way more passes, way better passing accuracy, more corners. Everything. Absolute domination. And that's what you want to see. And I know, look, Norwich are a relegation team as well. United should be rolling up and beating Norwich. But we didn't beat Newcastle the other week. So take it for what it is. We should be winning 3. We should be 4-0 up. We're not. We're 2-0 up. We're comfortable. Let's go into the second half, get a couple more goals, and take the positivity. EPL rules say goalkeeper must have at least 1 foot on the line, says Amster. Look, I'm not going to moan too much because it will sound like I'm moaning when we're winning 2-0. But Mark, why are you excited you're beating a pub team, says Zayn Miasi? Well, look, because we normally struggle to beat teams like that, so I'm not going to take your bait. We're Manchester United and we're not doing great, but we're doing what I expected us to do today, which is win a game of football. What I would say with Tim Krul is, though, he was that goalkeeper that Van Gaal subbed on in the World Cup for Holland in 2014. Simply for the penalty shootout. So he is a good goalkeeper at saving penalties. But I would say if you're going to go to the trouble of having VAR, whereby a referee is going to check and see for sure for men handball, yeah, or Lynx Africa, definitely the hands up, that's a handball. The Dan James one, more disputable, but they check it, and they say that's VAR for you. And let's not forget Anthony Martial missed an absolute sitter in the 6-yard box, which was a great save by Tim Krul. The point remains that it would probably be 5-0 to United if it wasn't for Tim Krul. But I've got to say, if you're going to have VAR and you're going to check all these things, one of the rules this season was that brought in that a goalkeeper on penalties must always have a foot on the line. And for both of these penalties, it doesn't look like he has a foot on the line. He's moved off his line for both penalties. So if you've got VAR, which checks everything, then you've got to check the goalkeeper on the line. How long since we scored more than one? Our lineup is sweet, says Harvey White. And look, you know what, Harvey, and everybody as well, I know as United fans we're not happy at the moment, and I know as United fans we're a little bit worried at the moment, but let's be honest as well, we were all happy with that lineup. We all said, if all right, left back, we'd like Brandon Williams and we want Luke Shaw if he's back, but he's miles off his line, Krul. I've got to be honest, he's miles off his line for the Rashford one, and he's miles off his line for the Martial one. So he's like literally got both feet off the line. There's no point having VAR if you're not going to check something like that. With Pogba back, doesn't the team all of a sudden look somewhat exciting, says Tobias Grenfell? I don't think it's anywhere near good enough. We are playing a relegation team at the bottom, at the end of the day. But I'm glad there's no Lingard. I'm glad there's no Mata. And Aha says, I've just joined the stream. What do you think of that, Mark? Personally think it's the best first half we've played in months, even with 2 penalty misses. Yeah, it is some of the best football we've played in months. Who would you drop to bring Pogba on the team, says Ashley GR. I think it will be Fred. Although personally, I'm tempted to think I might actually do it for Pereira. Yeah, I'd love to see Pogba in that more advanced position with the freedom to play there. Let's celebrate. Our win rate for the season is now 33%, a truly momentous and historic achievement, easily surpassing anything done in the Fergie years, says Meb the Third. Look, you're still if you're Ole Gunnar Solskjaer out, you should not change because we're battering Norwich. We need more consistency, and you should not change from that. But we have to, you've got to take the positives with it. And we are playing attacking football. He's not picked Mata or Lingard. And we look a lot more exciting. But I've got to say, Tim Krul may as well be stood on the penalty spot. At least we ain't relying on pens for once. 1-0 as Spurs, by the way, Mark, says Jay Singh. Yeah, I think it's 2-1 to Arsenal against Palace and 1-0 Spurs against Liverpool. I mean, if Spurs can get a point there, that would be very, very interesting, wouldn't it? Very, very interesting indeed. Chuck your questions in. Andreas played well, says Red Bull. No. Retract. I was asked the question, who comes into the team when Pogba's back fit? It's either McTominay, Fred or Pereira. I didn't say Pereira played bad. I didn't say Fred or McTominay played bad. They haven't. But if you've got to find some place for Pogba, I would drop Pereira to the bench. I'm not saying Pereira's played bad, but if you're telling me Pereira's better than Paul Pogba, then you're having a laugh. You're having an absolute laugh. Please do subscribe to the channel. Like I said, we've got the Ryan Giggs interview going up on the channel tomorrow. Very, very exciting. But look, we are 2-0 up. And United lead 2-0. A dangerous score in football. But I fancy United to go and get more, not Norwich. Norwich look absolutely toothless. What did I tell you about Pucky Pie? He's bloody rubbish. He's just a flash in the pan, just like Norwich. They did well in over a couple of games at the start, and everyone was like, oh, Norwich are that good. They've been crap. Aston Villa aren't that good. I know Villa aren't good because I know loads of Villa fans. Villa fans just want to stay up. They turned up to Norwich and beat them 5-1, and we're not expecting to win ourselves. Joe Holdway says that McSauce is having a blinder and so is Pereira. I agree. But I think, yeah, Tim Krul may as well have stood on the penalty spot for those penalties. The 6-yard line is probably more realistic. Pogba won't play for us again, says Liam Mellor. You're mad, mate. You're absolutely mad. But that Tim Krul thing, people can say, "I'll stop being a knobhead." That's a new rule, and they don't even check it. Right, top of the league by Christmas is Sreshit Banerjee. Look, what chance Ollie goes on another major big run? You know, the players want to play for him. Pogba's coming back, Martial's back. But I mean, 2 missed penalties. I don't think either penalty was that good, to be honest. And Aidan G says, I hate to be negative, but Free is a liability. And how do we miss... Fred is a liability, sorry, not Free. But how do we miss 2 penalties? That's absolutely not good enough. Can't blame Krul. We should be burying him. And Aidan G, I was just about to come to that. I don't think either penalty was that good, was it? But I'm excited. I'm bloody excited for once. You know what? People say the negative stand, and I don't want to be negative. Flex don't want to be negative. Rants probably does want to be negative. I don't know, but we don't want to be negative. We want to be positive. I want to sing Ollie's at the wheel. I won't be singing that for at least 4 months. You know, even if he wins every game for the next 4 months, I will not make that mistake again. He's got to get consistent. But we're winning. We're winning. We're going to get 3 points on a Sunday night. And I tell you what, that first half, match of the day 2 tonight, get it on record. It was brilliant. Brilliant first half for action. You know, 2 missed penalties, 2 goals. You'd want to watch United again. So, look, this is our club. This is our club. And if there is any chance for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer to turn this round and be successful, I want to be there. I want it to happen. It's far easier, and I said this under Mourinho as well, it's far easier if Mourinho turns this around than it is changing. And with Ollie, it's far easier if Ollie turns this around because the plan's already in place. Whether we ridicule it or not, the plan is already in place. So, yeah, I want him to be successful. Do I believe he's going to be successful? No, I don't. I think he will be gone in a year's time. But and I'm not going to change that because we're battering Norwich away from home. But what I would say is, today, he's not gone with 3 at the back. He has played on the front foot. We look a lot better. And we are going to win some games. We were never going to get relegated. So I can see both sides. I think people who are positive like me, let's hope it's the start of something. People who are still Ollie out, well, yeah, you're right. It's a relegation team. We were never going to get relegated. We should be a top 4 team. What happens when we play Spurs or Man City or something like that? So I agree with you on that. Mark, we are winning and we're playing so well, says Chris Joseph. I agree, Chris. I agree. Positivity. Daniel James is starting to look like a bargain. That Salt and Pepe fraud is nowhere near Dan James. And that's from Javante Baines. Well, look. As I said, subscribe to the channel and get your notifications on for uploads because the Ryan Giggs video will be going up tomorrow. He did talk about Dan James and he said, look, he's a top quality player with a great potential curve and a brilliant attitude. Would you rather see Garner or Greenwood come on? Says Kevin Potticky. Well, unfortunately, we are gonna see Lingard or Mata come on, aren't we? To be fair, Mark, you're an absolute shining example of enthusiasm compared to me, says Meb Third. I ain't got any problem with anybody. I know some of you are Ollie out. I know you are. And what I would say about that is, if you are Ollie out, let me just change this because I need to get my tissue because I've got a bit of a cold. I'll respect you more if you're Ollie out and you stay Ollie out, even for today. I respect you if you said, nothing's changed for me. I'm still Ollie out, but if he goes and wins the next 3 games, I might start to give him a chance. If you're Ollie out, you can't just go, we're beating shitty Norwich, I'm Ollie in again. That's flip-flopping. That's Arsenal. So if you're Ollie out, don't worry about it. Just stay with it. Don't change your opinion. Dan James, another brilliant assist, says Joel Holdway. Yeah. And, you know, Ricardinho says I still want Ollie out. Yeah, James, counter-attack crosses remind me of Beckham crosses, says Mohammed Din. I can't say to you enough, though. I can't say this enough. Norwich, perfect game for Manchester United today. Absolutely perfect. They're like a butcher's apron at the back. They're wide open. They're not that good up front. And also, the reason it's perfect for United is because defensively we're good. We're good at the back. So it's a good game for United. And you know, we won't concede 2 goals today. I know that sounds, you're going to jinx it. But I'm not going to jinx it because we won't concede 2 goals today because we've got a good defence. How's Fred doing? James Ducker. I'm not called James Ducker. James Ducker from The Telegraph saying he's having his best game for ages, but people in the comments saying he's invisible. And thank you for the contribution there from Shikar Sitoki. The clocks have gone back. The nights are dark, but there's a light at Manchester United as we prepare for this second half. And a great win it would be for Manchester United. Agreed, Mark. Let's see after Bournemouth, says Keegan Play. Beat Norwich, beat Bournemouth, beat Brighton, international break, assess. That's what I think. It's a 3-step plan. You need 9 points. No excuses. I think this is the minimum progress we deserve as fans. As long as Ollie keeps moving us forward game to game, we should stand by him onwards and upwards, says Upbeat Sarcastic. And I think that's what I mean. Today, he had to win. I even said before the game, if he didn't win today, then he could be looking at the sack. I don't think the Woodward would have sacked him, but he could have been looking at the sack. Mark, that assist from Dan James was Pogba-esque, says Daniel Tile. I'm on the fence. It's not the results, but the poor football and lack of clear way forward. At least today we are playing like we should every game, says Sean Infinity. But yeah, you know, it's a 3-step plan for me. I said before the game, if we lose today, I think I'd almost be Ollie out because of where we are in the league and losing to rubbish like Norwich. If we win today, I'll say the same ahead of Bournemouth. It's not get out of jail. You've got to go and win at Bournemouth now, because if you lose at Bournemouth again, I think even if we won 5-0 today, if we lost at Bournemouth next week, I'd say that's unacceptable. He's probably got to go. So he's got to win today. He's got to beat Bournemouth and he's got to beat Brighton at home. And then we reassess. Simple as that. But second half is up and running. Black Boy says, our attacks are way better and so much more fluid with Anthony Martial at the top. Hold-up play is incredible. Few good performances, but we need to lose Young. Young will go. On your own channel, can you do a video on the Wickham takeover, says Jay Richardson. I don't know anything about it, mate. I'd have to have a look at that. And somebody just said in the live comments there, I'd like to give them a shout out for it as well, if I can find it. It's always the way it's gone. But they said that Krul's only saved 3 of his last 42 penalties. Well, that doesn't make me feel that good then, does that? Pookie with a great chance there for Norwich. It should have been 2-1. Delicate official. The reason this game is perfect for United is because we can miss 2 penalties and it doesn't matter. I'll volunteer and do better with a blindfold on. Good play down from Norwich down the right hand side. Pookie, I told you, he's just an Asda. Daniel James, he's not an Asda Daniel James, he's an Asda Harry Kane. Daniel James, our player of the season probably, says Jose Gonzalez. And Paul McPhillips says, who would you take, Benitez, Mancini or Wenger? I'll stick with Ollie, thanks Paul. That was a big chance for Pookie, but I told you he was the Asda, he's the Asda bloody Harry Kane. I tell you what, if they'd scored that would have left it wide open. Do I dare tweet Pookie's just an Asda? Yeah, I'm gonna. Poundland Harry Kane. Live by the sword, die by the sword. That's what I say. So Norwich will come out and give it a go. 2-0 can be quite a dangerous score in football. Of course it can. Who would you take, Harry Kane or Timo Werner, says Daniel Taylor? I'd like both. I think Harry Kane at United would be very good, but I don't think he will leave. So I think Timo Werner for me. The tweet's been sent. Dan James has been a brilliant signing for Manchester United, though. I think much the same as probably as Martial, but we paid a lot of money for Martial. The great thing about Dan James is we only paid 15 million for him. What do you think of Brendan Rodgers, says Martin Spellman? Good manager. I mean, but people talking about Brendan Rodgers to United or whatever, even if Ollie got the sack, let's be honest, it's not he's not going to leave Leicester when he only went there in March. Mark, don't you think we need to take the penalties better, try to put them higher, need to do better at corners and provide better crosses to Maguire, says Ricardo Chanchon. Well, look, United statistically are actually quite good in open play, but I'll tell you what, they're looking at... Are they looking at a VAR here for... No, they're not. Oh no, they are looking at a VAR here. So basically, ball goes to the edge of the penalty box. Wan-Bissaka, Norwich player. Wan-Bissaka gets there just after, but it's more of a shoulder barge thing. But I think if they do give a penalty, it would be stupid because, well, then again, they might look at the Dan James one. No, it's not a penalty. It's not a penalty. Official, it's not a penalty. Still 2-0. Wan-Bissaka does need to be a little bit careful though. He is on a yellow card. Do you think United will ever sign a right winger? Says the Neely. Well, don't get me started. I really wanted just to get Pulisic. I was talking about that last night. But yeah, I mean, go back to the set pieces thing for United. If you take a good... The thing about penalties is, if you take a good penalty, it don't matter how good the goalkeeper is. Because he won't save it. Liverpool have scored. 1-1. Jordan Henderson. I told you Spurs won't win there. They'll go on and win that now, Liverpool, because they've got ages to go on and win it. I'm having a good day today. I said Arsenal will win, United will win, and Liverpool will win. I didn't put any money on it, but I'm right. So 1-1, Jordan Henderson for Liverpool. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, bottom right hand corner. And remember, we've got the Ryan Giggs video going up tomorrow. We've got fan cams tonight. Match reaction with me, of course. Eva Hardy says, Mark, Ollie in or Ollie out, whatever we think, he's made 3 signings, all of which are a success. So in those terms, he's our best manager since Fergie. Well, look, I'm not going to disrespect you. It's your opinion. Pereira's playing well, Colin Howells. Full-time prediction, Ewan Gordon. My only concern is, and I will drop it here now, and we will come back to it in half an hour. My only concern is United are a shit second-half team. So let's see if Ollie can improve on that. He's improved on his team selection. He's improved on his team formation. He's improved in his team philosophy today. We're winning. Ollie is a Poundland. Pardew. Big save there. Martial with a chance. Oh. The ball by Dan James was nearly good, but it was a bit of a defensive mistake, and Tim Krul makes a mistake. I think Martial's got to score there. Martial could have had a hat-trick today. Martial could have had a hat-trick today. I've got to say, I love Anthony Martial. I think we're a better team now we've got Martial in it. And I think under Mourinho, he'd probably be like, I'm going to drop you now for the misses. But he had a great chance from 6 yards out on the head in the first half. He's missed a penalty, and he's just missed another chance. So there you go. Palace have apparently equalised against Arsenal. Lovely stuff. I tell you what, if we win, we're only 2 points behind Arsenal. Well, no, we'd be 3 if they draw. McTominay's got a good shot on him, hasn't he? We've just got a corner from another shot there. I have been playing a bit of Call of Duty, by the way. I'd say I'm an average player at Call of Duty. But having said that, when you do play Call of Duty, if you've never played it, you start off with a shit gun and everything like that. So it's hard to know how good you are, because basically you go around a corner, you've got to shoot somebody 5 times, and if they've been playing it for ages and they've got a really good gun, they just blow on you and you're dead. So you've got to grind it through a little bit. "10 shots on target for United out of 14, says Sider. A lot better. A lot better. But I feel relaxed. I feel relaxed this second half. Yeah, I feel relaxed. And to be honest with you, I'm very happy, because the Ryan Giggs interview is going to work a lot better if United have won today. Because if we don't win, or we'd lost, I think people would not have enjoyed the interview as much, because they wouldn't be liking what was said. But so it's going to work a lot better in that way. A feel-good factor is always good. Andreas on corners, says Man United 84, which is always a good thing as well. Mark, who would you most like in January? Bruno, Sancho or Joe, says Tom Nuttall. I would like Bruno Fernandes at United. Timo Werner. Jadon Sancho ain't going to come to United. So for those joining us a little bit late, United have absolutely dominated Norwich, who are defensively terrible. And we've also missed 2 penalties. So we're 2-0 up and we've missed 2 penalties. That is the story of the game. I think Fred is inconsistent, TB. I think Fred is inconsistent. But would you rather play Fred or Matic? Because, I mean, Fred's just played a good ball forward to Rashford there, and Rashford loses it. But the reality is, with regards to Fred, he's so much more mobile, and McTominay is so much more mobile than Matic and Pogba. I mean, Pogba's not actually that mobile as a defensive midfielder. He is mobile when he's attacking and he's dribbling, but without the ball, Pogba's not that mobile. But Fred and McTominay are, and when you've got that mobility in the midfield, but they're not good enough. We need better midfielders. Better teams will dominate Fred and McTominay, but you know, I would always rather have a bit more pace. I think Norwich would have come into this game expecting to get something out of it. Yeah, I'd agree. And again, JCFC makes a good point as well. Let's not all forget that Anthony Martial is is unfit at the moment. You know, he's not match sharp. Maddison won't be coming in January either, Michael James, will he? We're talking about January. Mark, start United stand clan on Call of Duty. I don't know how to do it. Can we trade Delo for Aarons, says Svi Mello? Well, I got a lot of stick in the summer because when we were... You remember how long it takes for United to do a deal? The Wan-Bissaka deal took all of June. And about halfway through June, we actually got linked to Max Aarons. And I said at the time, I don't mind if we sign Max Aarons. He's a lot cheaper than Wan-Bissaka, and he could end up being better. And people say, what an idiot, you don't know what you're on about. And I was like, no, Max Aarons is good. I prefer Wan-Bissaka, but if the deal falls through, Max Aarons would be a good signing. I'd like the whole Leicester midfield in January, says Meb3. Yeah, I'd love Ndidi. I just don't... I think United are too strong defensively for this Norwich side. We're just by far the better team today. It is 2-2 in the Arsenal Palace game from 2-0 up for Arsenal. So talk about 2-0 being the game over. We must be a little bit careful because Arsenal were 2-0 up at home and have let Palace back in. It could be a really good match of the day tonight. Well, Ashley Young's just had a yellow card. Never a red card. I don't know what was going on about there. Ashley Young's just been booked. So both fullbacks have been booked. Nakul Shukla says, I'm Ollie in and will be Ollie in. I will give him till December next year to set the ship right. I've done a culture change and team reel before, not in football, and it is hard as hell. There we go. Interesting. Are we playing 4-3-3? Yes, we are. Yes, we are. Spurs are not winning. It's 1-1. It's 1-1. Actually, I say that. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, Henderson. And it is 2-2. 2-2 in the Arsenal game, which is very equal. They've both had the same amount of shots. Both have the same possession. And you could say that Palace definitely deserves to be level in that game. Got about half an hour left in this game. And that game. And the Liverpool game. So I would say Arsenal will probably find a way to win against Palace, even though Palace have been the better team. I would say that Liverpool will definitely beat Spurs. And United will be comfortable in this game. Mark, how come we only get to put in 50 characters, says Daniel Tell. I don't know, mate. I don't know. And Genwell Balandres says, combine United and Arsenal team and it's a good team. Let's have a quick look at the team at the Premier League table. United, at the moment, would be up to 7th because Spurs are drawing and United's goal difference would be +3, whereas Spurs is +2. Spurs and United would be up on 13 points. Joint 7th place with Sheffield United, but we would have the better goal difference. Annaradin is saying, Ollie's saying calm down to the players. We're playing 4-5-1 in the second half, says Footness Unscripted, Sharath Kamath. I think we have gone a little bit more defensive second half, haven't we? I think you're right there. Young is lucky not to get a red card, says Wan Lee. Well, I think most people don't think that. Martial is not getting the passes he wants, says Ayoub. We've got a little bit defensive second half. But having said that, Martial had a great chance to make it 3-0. United need to be a little bit careful though. Both fullbacks are on yellow cards. Keegan Pillai says, are we parking the bus? Not really, because I think we're such a threat on the break. Dun, 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 dun. I think it'd be interesting if Norwich were to get the next goal. Martial. Ooh. We need to score a third, says Big Moss. I mean, yeah, I think third goal, game over, yeah. Ollie should take Young off, says Kwame. Third needed, says Oliver Burks. Yeah, Arsenal fans won't be happy if Arsenal drop another. Well, having lost to Sheffield United and then draw to that would be great. Wan-Bissaka is just amazing. I think he's just such a good defender. I have had defenders like that in my life that you just absolutely admire, but also he's just so good. He's just so good defensively. How long's left? About 25 minutes, half an hour. 2-0 is a very difficult lead to have, says Ashley. Well, to be fair to Norwich, they did have a very good chance just after half time. Pookie missing it. Ian Ramos says, with the penalties bad misses? I think any missed penalties are bad miss, to be honest. When you've got a free shot at goal and the goalkeeper's in the middle. Yeah, he's going to come off his line, of course he is, but let's be honest. You've got to score. But I just think in relation to Aaron Wan-Bissaka, he's just so reliable that it's just hard to ever feel nervous when he's defending because he's just so good. Lack of creativity and soccer IQ. We need Bruno, says T Ballard. Heard about Ollie getting 150 million for Havertz and Muller, says Eric Garafström. I don't know. I mean, Thomas Muller. I don't think I would get excited about Thomas Muller because I was excited about Schweinsteiger, and they're around the same age, aren't they? Sancho will probably go to Chelsea, says Alan Smal. Woodward will have to cancel the sacking in the morning, says Brian Murphy. I don't think he was ever sacking him in the morning anyway, mate. I'd say United have dropped off a little bit second half, haven't they? Let's be honest. We have lost the culture of scoring 4 to 5 goals, says Shandy. Would you do a live score wall for That's Football, says Genwell Belandres. I don't know what one of them is. We should have sold Pogba and bought 2 to 3 midfielders, says Ali Games. I wouldn't have been opposed to that, to be honest. Pogba doesn't want to be here. Martial's moving around a little bit gingerly at the moment, apparently. Which means he might be struggling. Which would be great. I have said this about Martial as well. Have we got a player who's injury prone? Because we don't want that. Game management now, says Jamie Wiltshire for Ollie. That's down to fitness marks, says Michael Jones. Martial. Ooh. Nearly. Yeah, we've got 2,000 goals now. David Bradley, that was done with the first one. Chris Cavas says we should get Williams on for Young. David Montes says Martial is looking a bit injury prone. Ganchel Music says please change Young. Wan-Bissaka's just got an important challenge in there. We don't want to be conceding with 20 minutes to go, or even 10 minutes to go. A third goal, second half would have been nice, wouldn't it? Norwich did beat City, Daz, but you can't... People just keep going on about Norwich beating City and like, oh, wow, look at this great result. You know, it's a great result for United, but I think Norwich are shit. That's why they're in the bottom three. If they're such a good team, why did they beat City and they've not beaten anybody else, really? Because they're shit. Gold piece prosperity, we made a sub yet, close to Ollie's standard 70 now. I imagine we will. I think Mata will be coming on and Lingard. Lingard for the legs, really. I think Lingard suits this game better off the bench. Going to be another game where Ollie burns out his starters, says Alligator. On the bench, we've got, I know Rojo's on there, Williams is on there, Garner's on there, Lingard's on there, Greenwood's on there, and Mata's on there. What's the game like? Says Carol. I thought the first half was brilliant. There's so many events in the first half for you to be, watching back. Second half, boring. Martial is fragile. Rashford is selfish, says T. Ballard. I don't know what's happened to Luke Shaw, James Taylor. He just seemed to have been injured for a very, very long time. Sell Lingard to Preston, says Will Hanston. I'll have some toast, says Dave Sumner. I can't believe you can actually hear that on the volume, but there we go. We're on easy street at the moment. I mean, just Norwich is just toothless, and we actually are a good defensive side. Norwich knocking on the door, but no one's answering. Williams and Greenwood for Young and Martial, says Alex Ashley GR. Thoughts on Haaland, says Sonda Johnson. I think he looks very, very good. I just don't have a feeling that United will get him. I don't know about you lot. Man of the match so far, anybody? I think Wan-Bissaka's played well. I think McTominay's played well. I think Fred's done well. Pereira's done well. Dan James. Why do we always stop in games and push on for more, says Aaron Gillespie. Get in! Martial to Rashford to Martial. 3 stars, 3 goals. Martial gets the goal he bloody well deserves today as well. And Manchester United, 3 points in the bag, 3 goals in the bag, and we've done it. We've absolutely done it. We've gone and Martial, for me, that's the icing on the cake. That is the absolute icing on the cake. Martial scoring, for me, makes today a very, very good day. But fantastic goal. Spoke too soon. What a beautiful goal, says Ashley GR. And it is fantastic. Manchester United leading 3-0. And it's my man Martial. It's brilliant. Absolutely brilliant play between Martial and Rashford. The interchangeability. And you know what? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, to be fair, probably right. We're a much better team with Martial in the team. David Gatter says, you would think someone who was such an impact from the bench would understand the importance of substitutions. Well, spoke too soon, because Manchester United are in front, and it's a fantastic goal. What a goal. What a goal. Martial and Rashford playing it together. That's Cole-esque, that was. I mean, that's why I want to put the tweet out. Martial goal. Interchanging with Rashford in the build-up. Very much like York and Cole Barcelona 99. If you're old enough, you'll know. Well, fantastic. Absolutely fantastic. I told you. It's a bit like saying a Toje, isn't it? The rugby player. But I did tell you we would win today. The only thing I've got wrong is the scoreline. Unless Norwich get a late consolation. I did say 2-0, 3-1, 4-2. So, Mason Greenwood's on as well. It'd be nice if he could nick a goal. Lovely. To think we went 230 days without an away win. 2 in 3 days, says MUFC for life. And Liverpool are winning 2-1 now. Goal for Mo Salah. So we are up to 7th. If I show you the league table now, Manchester United are in 7th place. I've not updated it, but we would be on 13 points with a goal difference of +4 into 7th place. Interesting. Very interesting for Manchester United. Who's our next signing? Contract renewal mark, says Genwell Belandris. Haven't got a bloody clue. Arsenal fans booed Xhaka off and he threw his jersey to the ground and went straight to the tunnel, says Anarud Barathan. That's bad, isn't it? That's bad to be booing players off the pitch. Martial man of the match. Now give Greenwood, Garner and Williams a run out and take Martial, Young and Fred off. It was going to be a bit of a smash and grab for Liverpool, wasn't it, if they were going to win it? Spurs, in all honesty. Early goal and then try and hold it for 90 minutes at Anfield. Always going to be very difficult to do. And in all honesty, they've not managed to do it. Protect Martial, the best sub Ollie ever did. I love this game. So, young man of the match, says Luke Bradley. Controversial. We've still got 15 minutes to go in this game. They're just reviewing a tackle by Fred there, and nothing's going to happen with it. Imagine if we'd scored the 2 penalties. You'd take 3-0 though. We'd take 3-0 today. As Ollie stopped parking the bus, I think second half we played similar to how we do play, just soaking up the pressure and hitting them on the break. But you can't say we played like that in the first half. Sean Atwood, Tony Martial, he came from France. English press said he had no chance. 50 million down the drain. Tony Martial scores again. Carey Skate says, where is the Ollie Met out men now? I think you'll find they're still there, mate. And I think you've probably just made one of the most embarrassing comments of the day. Way too soon for that. You know, we're Manchester United, for God's sake. You don't just beat a relegation team and then not be Ollie out. Most people who are Ollie out will still have their concerns. Norwich are shit. It's step one for me, and I was never Ollie out anyway. I'm very happy today. I think we played much better, and you know, we scored a lot of goals. So all those things are great, but you've got to go and do it against Bournemouth next week, and you've got to do it against Brighton. We've got to take 6 points from the next 2 now, 9 from the 3. And as people in the like comments are saying, I'm still Ollie out. So, you know, people aren't just going to be... You'd be an absolute Arsenal fan if you were like Ollie out yesterday and now you're not Ollie out because we beat Norwich. It's not. It's going to take more than that. And I respect those people for that. I do. Because, you know, you can't just change your opinions like that. And Norwich have used all 3 substitutions, and they've got a player who just keeps going down injured, so they might have to go down to 10 men. So get in the live comments. Let's have a go through it with 10 minutes to go. Have a bit of fun with this actually, because I do my match reaction afterwards. Marks out of 10 for De Gea. I mean, he's not really had much to do, has he, with De Gea? I'd say an average performance of 6. Wan-Bissaka, I think, has been a contender for man of the match. Actually, we'll leave that for match reaction afterwards. Who's been your man of the match and who's been the worst United player on the pitch? I think that makes it a little bit more interesting. Who's been your man of the match? Who's been your worst player on the pitch? That's what you've got to do. I think for me, there's a few candidates for man of the match. I think Wan-Bissaka's been superb again, and I think Dan James has been superb again. 2 new signings. Surprise, surprise. The contrarian says you were closet Ollie out, Mark. Oh, God. Is this one of those people again who, when I wouldn't be Mourinho out, they were like, you are Mourinho out, really? And what did I do? I went Mourinho out 2 months before he got the sack. When it's time, I will do it. It isn't time for me to be Ollie out, and I'm not Ollie out. And I've said why I'm not Ollie out. So there we go. We could get beat by Bournemouth next week, and all the Ollie outers will be back again, and I will still probably not be Ollie out. So, you know, I'll make my own mind up, thank you. I've been doing this for 4 years, and I've always said what I bloody well think. So don't start trying to say, oh, you were closet Ollie out. If I was Ollie out, I would say it. Saeed, one of the fan cameras, said he's Ollie out. Get on to him. Man United 84 says, Mark, you're going to have a J-Lings do the DJ for the Christmas party. If he wants to do it, he can. Even though it is Norwich, the mentality is different with the front players, says Rule Cummings. Because they're getting more of the ball. They're getting more of the ball. But the big thing is, for the United today, that will be interesting against Bournemouth, who are better than Norwich, is it's been very easy for United to get at their back four. Let's not debate that. Norwich are bad at the back. And that's, to be honest with you, we're winning 3-0. Villa managed 5. If we'd scored our 2 penalties, we'd have 5 as well. Garner at number 10. Love to see this. Scott is man of the match, please, says Darshan Singh. Starry does YouTube, says Young man of the match, but then Semir says Young is trash. A few people saying McTominay man of the match. Martial man of the match. James hasn't done anything, says Richie 3125. He's faded in the second half, I agree. Martial man of the match, massive difference, says Gower. I think guys just shoots wide there, obviously fancied a goal. Mark, when's the Christmas event? It's on January it's not on January, it's on December the 5th, which is a Thursday. If you want to get tickets, go to the video last night with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer as the thumbnail. The link's on there. Comfortable win. Oh, it's been enjoyable though. It's been enjoyable. I didn't realise we were that close to the end of the game actually. Better start setting up the match reaction stream, which you can join me for straight after. I think a lot of people are expecting something a little bit different. And you've not got it, have you? Something a little bit different, i.e. maybe a Manchester United loss. Never expected that myself. But a really good win for Manchester United. We needed those points today. And as I said before the game, the unique situation that we had here today was where you can go from 15th up to 7th. I think if we'd lost today, it's very unusual that you can do that. And what United need to make sure they do now is not go up to 7th and then drop down again. That's got to be our lowest point of the season. It's now about building our way back. And like I said last night, I think in some ways top 4, you've got a valid argument if you think top 4 is actually already gone. But we've got to not drop again. Get up to 7th and start building out. Into 7th place, and then you've got Bournemouth and Brighton. That's got to be 6 points. Come back after the international break and keep moving on again. So it's a big opportunity for United, and I think that's what we've got to be looking to do from now on, is just keep building out, build it out. But we've only got about 5 minutes, probably a little bit longer because of the VAR incidents, but comfortable for United. And I'm very, very, very happy that we've managed to do that. Oh, you're going to see my bold head now because I can't remember. There it is. Not free. Manchester United. Could be another goal in here for United here, but Rashford didn't go for goal. He tried to play Greenwood and no goal. I think there's definitely a case to say that Wan-Bissaka's man of the match, though, surely. He's been absolutely superb. Mark Goldbridge reacts to a fantastic win for United and gives his Manchester United player ratings. And I tell you what, look, the second half's not been it's not been the second half that we wanted in relation to excitement, but we got A very good goal from Anthony Martial, which has made a big difference to the scoreline and has took the game away from Norwich. Although I don't think it was ever in it for Norwich. But the first half, I can't wait to watch Match of the Day 2 for that. I thought it was fantastic. Lots and lots of excitement. 2 missed penalties. And I think, am I right in saying that Norwich are now down to 10 men because they've had to take their injured player off? But the perfect day for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is what I was going to say. And the perfect day for Manchester United in some ways. And Manchester United fans. Stunning stuff for Manchester. Well, I wouldn't. I'm trying to over-egg the pudding. What I'm saying is, we had to get 3 points today. We know we had to get 3 points today, and to get 3 points in these circumstances where we are, very pleased indeed. (3-1). Norwich have just scored 3-1. The Canaries have finally given flight and they've got a late goal. But we don't care because we're going to win. Normally that would be a late winner for Norwich. It's a late consolation. Gone to sleep at the back United a little bit there. But to be honest with you, De Gea not happy though. Why should he be? A late goal for him to concede. Not a happy chappy. Got to be a little bit careful, United, here, that this doesn't turn into something like a 1-goal win. I tell you what I would say though, it's a good job that we got that late goal, that third goal, because it could have been very different. We should be home and dry now, really. But, oh, we've got a message coming in here. No, we haven't. I think a lot of this is to do with the late substitutions. Can't wait to see AFTV and the Prat and the Hat have a meltdown over VAR tonight. I take it it's 2-2 still in that game. It sounds like Arsenal should have had a goal and it's been chalked out. So United just about home and hosed here. Well, we are home and hosed. We're going to get the win. And I got it on the money as well. I did say 3-1 to United. I tell you what, I'm doing loads right at the moment. I predicted the win and I said it'd be 3-1. Don't let Pookie score. That's all I'll be happy with. How many minutes have we got added on? Norwich are on the attack at the moment. I think United have just gone to sleep. We've gone to sleep, folks. So, I mean, look, I'm looking forward to doing the match reaction because it's not often you get to do a match reaction for a Manchester United win in the Premier League. It's definitely not that often that we get to do a Manchester United match reaction for a win away from home in the Premier League. So I'm looking forward to doing that. Links in the video description for that. But I mean, it's a little bit like to be honest with you, it's a little bit like Burnley and Chelsea last night, isn't it? Chelsea absolutely dominant, home and hosed, making a little bit of hard work out of it. I don't know whether what's going on now. Oh. This bloody computer. I'm just glad we've got through it anyway, because it's been a bloody struggle this stream today. I think this computer's going down to the tip tomorrow, to be honest with you. I've not been able to interact with the live comments for the last 60 seconds because we're not getting it. I've just realised actually a lot of people have mentioned 300. I don't normally get to. I read the super chats and just move on. If it's a $300 donation from Rule Cummings, thank you very much. Which it must be because it's just stayed up on the screen for a long, long time. So big shout out to Rule Cummings for that. Really appreciate it. Hadn't realised it was dollars because you do get different. Currencies, but there we go. And a lot of people are saying 300. Just let them say it. It doesn't matter. Let them crack on. So we're nearly there. Manchester United 3-1 winners over Norwich City, which we're very happy about. Of course, links in the video description for the match reaction, which will be there very soon. Fantastic win for United. Big 3 points for United. Knocks us up to 7th because I think Liverpool are winning still. Lingard's on the attack here. Oh, and Greenwood could have made it 4. Didn't make it 4. Should have scored. Should have been 4. It's not. Harry Maguire is a bulldozer, says aha. Greenwood did not miss an open goal, Ayub. He missed a chance. I wouldn't say it was an open goal. So, how are we feeling, United fans? We've had to wait all weekend. Some would say we've had to wait a long time for a result like this. We've got a result like this. It's a deserved result. I'll be giving you my honest opinion on the game because I think that always helps on the match reaction. Liverpool have won 2-1 and Liverpool have obviously won as well, which is good for them. What's the score in the Arsenal game? I'm proper pissed off actually because I would like to have done a watch along on That's Football for Liverpool and even the Arsenal game looks like it's been good. So Arsenal are actually drawing because they've had a goal ruled out for VAR. And it remains 2-2 for Arsenal. God, apologies for the stream today. It's been a freaking nightmare, an absolute nightmare. But we will do the video description. Links in the video description for the match for the match reaction, where we can talk about the game properly. I'll see you over there in the next couple of minutes. Links in the video description for the match reaction, man of the match, and I've got a very big thing I want to say about Solskjaer and whether Solskjaer has sorted this out because quite clearly he hasn't. But it's a big result for United. So join the conversation. Link in the video description. I'll be there in 2 minutes with you.